So, hello and welcome back to our podcast session. And here we come with another surprising and very exciting guest, Monde Few from Cameroon.
Yeah.
Sorry for pronunciation.
No, that's okay.
But,
I,
how are you?
I would just want to say the name is, African names are a little bit
Yeah.
different. The name is Mbonde
Bonde.
Theophile Ekinde.
Oh, it's a full name.
Yes, the phone name. That's three different names, so I understand. Usually people get it pronounced wrongly,
That's a
but
great
it's
struggle.
fine. Yeah.
Great struggle. How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm fantastic. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, you must say because you won $1,000 today.
Yeah, today was like amazing for me. I didn't expect it. I was just trying to do my best to make
Okay.
people understand but I was very comfortable because it's an area that I'm specialized at,
And
considering that
What's the area?
I work for the Ministry of Justice in my country.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
you are official from the Ministry of
Yeah,
Justice.
Ministry of Justice.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I work also as a social entrepreneur and civil society activist.
Okay.
So I am part of an organization called Research and Advocacy for Gender Justice.
Oh,
And we help internally displaced persons affected by conflict. So the conversation, the topic by the professor was just within the context of my expertise. So that's why I was very comfortable. I think that's why I won.
Yeah.
I won because of that, yeah.
so what exactly you said there? What was the issue? And
We're talking about resolution of conflicts, and in order to make it practical, she kind of created an utopia state, a state that doesn't exist, but one that we could use and as an example. Something, I think it was Zemora or something, I won't remember the name. And there was a conflict in that state, and the conflict was that there was a minority, and the minority, which made up 35% of the population, they were being toppled by the majority, and so there was a civil war, and this suffered prejudice. And so, in order to resolve this problem, she created different departments. So I was the Minister of Justice. So as Minister of Justice, I had to provide my own solution to this conflict. The conflict had ended, and so we wanted to reconcile the parties. So I had to come in as a Minister of Justice to see if we needed to prosecute those who were responsible for the crisis. How do we intend to go about it? Do we need external influence like international observers? Do we want the prosecution to be in the country, or do we want an international organization or the International Tribunal to come in and judge them? And so I was to provide the best mechanism to hold those accountable, responsible for the acts they posed.
yeah, exactly. Bro, you have perfectly mentioned everything. But if we talk about the practicality, all the resolutions and all the constitutions and all the dialogues and discussions are perfectly fine. But when we talk about the practicality and see so many UN resolutions on the political matters, and when we see the massacres in Palestine and Gaza and food starvations, so how do you balance the theory and the resolutions and conferences and the practical starvation and wars which so many innocent people are facing?
You're just talking about something that it was a conversation in the hall too, and not taking it out. It's always been a problem putting practice, theory to practice, and it's just like just a little anecdote. It's like going to school, studying to be a surgeon, right? And they're teaching you in the classroom that you go to the operation room, you cut somebody, you remove the organs, you put it back, right? And then you never go into a theater, a laboratory to do that exercise. So you know the theory, but you don't know the practice.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the situation we have here. Usually, practice is always complicated because it's very difficult to bring two opinions into one.
Yeah.
People have different interests, different ideologies, different policies, different political orientation.
Yeah, different perspectives.
Different perspectives. So to bring them to agree on something is always very difficult. But usually also, we do understand that the international community, like you gave the case of Gaza,
Yeah.
is so polarized. And because of that, the interest is not about making something practical. They are more interested in making it superfluous, like an idea. When they want to put it in place, it becomes selective. So practicality, to me, is a myth. It's a myth. Why? Because usually when it comes to political issues, talking, just like politicians will make promises, but when they occupy this post, they don't do the things they've promised. So practicality, for me, is a myth. If you can realize a little bit of what you've promised, then you've tried. But most often, I will say this with all sincerity, the international community has failed. I should say this, especially in the case of Palestine.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a Christian, and I believe in the Bible and what God says about killing people and holding people account. And that's not what I believe in. And so I am devastated what is happening. And then people who can intervene, the international community, especially the United Nations, the United States, who I would say a big role to play. They are silent about it. And it hurts me deeply. And that's why I'm telling you that theory, the international law
Yeah,
is
yeah.
there, but the practicality is selective.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I call it a myth.
Justice is selective.
Yes, that's why I call it a myth to me, that the practicality of, international decisions are a myth. And it's very difficult to know what is necessary and what isn't because people follow their interest. I will also talk about like the case of Ukraine.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
I'm not happy what Russia is doing, but I don't understand. It's just to say this. Why is the international community so focused on that case, and then not interested in the case in Gaza? That's what I don't understand. We're human beings.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter where you are in the world.
Exactly.
And so that selectiveness is what makes it, I call it a myth. So that would be my perspective with the
Yeah,
practicality.
exactly. You perfectly summed it up, and that's the case, and that's the reality, and that's the bitter reality we are facing in this world. We also talk about, we want to talk about several more other things too. Especially, I heard first day about the difference between sympathy and empathy you were talking about in the hall.
Yeah.
The same day, the delegate from Nepal, Sapna, explain the Gen Z revolution and Gen Z protest. And
I had some tears falling off my eyes. Yeah, it really hurt me.
And we see the same phenomena worldwide, especially in our region. And so many Gen Z led protests and movements are going on. So what's that phenomena? What are you saying, and what's your observation regarding that?
Yeah, I think you mentioned two words, sympathy and empathy. Usually, people misunderstand those two conceptual words. Sympathy is feeling sorry about what's happening to somebody. Empathy goes deeper. It's you taking the place of the person, then feeling it. You see? And so when you talk about Gen Zs, they are feeling it. They can feel the crunch, the pinch.
They are more empathetic.
Yes, they are more empathetic than the generation before. You see, before Gen Z, like their fathers and their forefathers, they were more revolutionist.
Okay.
They thought the way for change is violence. The way for change is war. The way for change is through adverse confrontation. But what the Gen Zs are creating is phenomenal. Because what they're doing is this. They realize that if change doesn't come today, their children will not benefit from their nations. They also want to be part of the change. And also, they want to benefit from the change. And so, that phenomenon is amazing. And also remember that this is a class of people who are open to social media. They understand the functionalities of social media. They are educated. As compared to our fathers and our forefathers. These are people who have studied. They understand the theories of government. They understand economic revolution. They understand the principles of financial market. And they can evaluate the resources of their country. And they can evaluate the fact that they are not benefiting from those resources. And so their desire, their passion is built in their education, their empathy, and their ability to understand international functions faster and better. And this is all possible thanks to social media, information technology, and the internet. So what happens in another country, they can learn from it and transfer that knowledge. And considering the fact that the world has become a global village,
Yeah.
they can tap those ideas from their international exposures and bring them back home. And so that is my perspective about this current wave of Gen Z movements that are going on, especially in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
And
my
if we talk about the opportunities for Gen Z, please throw some light on that too, because there are also some people who are still complaining and crying all the time and not looking at the opportunity. So anything, any motivational thing from you, or any message for Gen Z and youth?
The fact is this: opportunities, we look at it in two ways. In my opinion, I'll look at it like you cannot have an opportunity that you didn't fight for.
You have to earn it.
You need to earn it. And so there is no way this generation can benefit from opportunities that they didn't create. There's no way. There's no way. We are here in London right now
Yeah.
at the Global Peace Chain.
Yeah.
And you've met so many young people who are ready to create change. And tomorrow, if one of them are a minister, a prime minister, an ambassador, will you be surprised? You will not be surprised because you've seen their
Yeah,
motivation.
Exactly.
Exactly. So, what are the benefits? If you can only benefit from what you fight for. So, but I strongly believe if they do it well, they can start something that will change the whole world. They can set a precedence that many others can copy. They can also change the ideology of those in power. You see, and then they can change the course of history. And so the benefit is, to me, I don't look it to be now. There can be an immediate benefit, but I look at the future, such that the leaders of tomorrow, our delegate was talking about the case in Nepal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the prime minister had to flee.
Yeah.
Can you
Ran
imagine?
away.
Can you imagine? So it means that
the same thing we witnessed in Bangladesh.
in Bangladesh,
Hasina was just
exactly.
ran away, flown away.
Wow. Yeah, I think I followed that on news. Now, who do you think will come to power and want to vex this kind of generation? So anybody who is coming will want to lobby them to bring them closer. So this movement has the advantage of implicating the youths in the decision and policy decisions of the nation in such a way that their interest will be defended. I should say this before I conclude on that.
Sure.
Most often, the older generation, they say, the future is for the youth. We are working to make things better for you. The question is, who is a youth? That is the myth. That's something that people don't answer. A youth is not age. A youth is somebody who is still struggling to make a living, who is still struggling to find his feet on the ground. So if you're 20 years old and you can employ 50,000 people, I would not say you are a youth. Because if you're 50 years old and you cannot afford food, you're fighting the same fight of a 15 years old who is looking for food.
Yeah.
So the advantage is that we will get implicated in the decision process, and the decisions of tomorrow will benefit us much better. Yeah.
So thank you so much for your time. Thank you
Okay.
so much for your words.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
It's a
much, and all the
pleasure.
best for the tomorrow.
Thank you.
And good luck for your $1,000. See you.